Okay, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Today is Tuesday, September 14th. Okay, so first of all, I just want to say, if you're subscribed to my channel for music and not for these videos, and you're wondering like, yo man, where's the music? You know what I'm saying? So first of all, you should not worry. I am always working on music, and I'm actually working on a few different songs right now, and one of them is close to completion. Should be released next week. Very, very special track. Very, very beautiful track. And also, I just been traveling like pretty much nonstop. I was in America for about 6 weeks. Came back to Israel for about a week. I was in Uman for Rosh Hashanah. Just got back a few days ago. And now it's all the holidays, big Jewish holidays. So we're doing as much as we can. But anyway, today I wanted to make a little video on Sukkos stuff with Breslov, or we read the sefer called Siach Sarfei Kodesh, which is like Breslov Messiah and different things like that. Let me just turn off my phone thing. So I just wanted to read. There's not that much information, what I'm saying? It's not going to be like a lesson in Likutei Moharan on Sukkos. It's just different inyan and different things and stories about Sukkos that they picked out in the sefer Siach Sarfei Kodesh. And if you're into Breslov, if you're into Rabbi Nachman, if you're into the history of Breslov, into the Messiah of Breslov, these are interesting things to know. And we'll read. It's going to go through Sukkos, Hoshana Rabbah, and Shmini Atzeres. So let's begin. So it says over here, this is from the Sefer Yemei Mornat, which is Rab Noson's autobiography. Rab Noson, again, was Rabbi Nachman's main student. It says over here, he wrote everything down in great detail. So he says that on Saturday night, on Motzei Shabbos, which was one day before Sukkos, in the year of Tav Kuf Ayin, that's 1 year before Rabbi Nachman was nifter, Esroigim came to the Kehilas Kodesh of Nemirov, to the city of Nemirov. Right, it was very hard to get Esroigim back then. It wasn't like today. And Hashem baruch also made it in his great kindness that they sent some Esroigim also to here, to Breslov. And Rabbi Naftali, who was also another great student of Rabbi Nachman, went with the person who bought the Esroigim, I think from Nemirov to Breslov, to make sure that they got to Breslov and that they wouldn't go to somewhere else. And they came in middle of the night, early Sunday morning, right? And they woke up Rabbi Nachman, and Rabbi Nachman purchased a beautiful and wondrous esrog. And I'm translating from Hebrew, by the way, obviously. And he had great simcha from this. And he said to Rabbi Naftali, he says, when you came into the city with the esrogim, there was a great light that was revealed in all the worlds. And Rabbi Nachman continued and said that because I knew that there would be esrogim, because I knew and I was sure that tefillah, I guess it was that the Berditchever, he says that al tefillah shel tzaddik harav agoin mi Berditchev zecher tzaddik kadosh uvracha. Right, I guess that he knew that the Berditchever prayed about having esrogim for this sukkah specifically, or something like that, and I knew that there would be esrogim because he is the pe'er kehila shalanu. He is the great head of our kehila, from all the big tzaddikim. Right, Rabbi Nachman had great respect for the Berditchever. Right, so he knew that there would be esrogim, but when esrogim came to hear was das is Favrik von Yiddishkeit, that it came to Breslov, which is in Yiddish, translated into Hebrew, it says Shekan hu beis haYitzer shel Yahadus, that here is the factory of Judaism. He called Breslov the factory of Judaism, basically. This is a great wonder. And he had great simcha. So obviously there's much deeper things going on, but it's just good to know that. Another little story over here. It says that one time Rav Nosson bought an esrog to Rabbi Nachman to check out. Today, just every day, all the time, when somebody buys an esrog, there's a thing to bring it to a rav or to a posek. He says, if you should buy it or not. He checks it out, if it's mahudr, if it's this, that. So of course, Rav Nosson bought his esrog to Rabbi Nachman, because he wanted to hear what Rabbi Nachman had to say about this esrog. And Rabbi Nachman didn't really say anything specific. He was just like, no, whatever. So even so, that he just said no, Rabbi Nosson still went and purchased it. And when he bought it back to show again to Rabbi Nachman, this time Rabbi Nachman praised the esrog greatly. And He said, it's such a beautiful esrog and this and this. So Rav Nosson, of course, was confused, and he said to Rabbi Nachman, why, at the beginning did you not praise it, and you just said no, but now you're praising it? So Rabbi Nachman said that if I would have praised it and said it was the best esrog in the world, then you would have gone back to the guy who was selling it, and you would have had a huge smile on your face. It would have been big simcha, and you would have said, "Oh, this guy I could get for I could raise the price on this guy because he's ready to buy this esrog no matter what." So I didn't want that to happen. I didn't want you to lose money. Therefore, I just said no, and I knew you were going to go buy it, so you bought it, and the guy didn't raise the price because he saw you were just a stam guy, whatever. But now the truth is that this esrog is one of the greatest esrogim that I've ever seen. It's a very, very beautiful esrog. That's what Rabbi Nachman said. Here's another story. This is a famous story that's in other books that's around that. And there was a person in Breslov who made a beautiful sukkah. He spent a lot of money on it, and he asked Rabbi Nachman to come to his sukkah for Kiddush. And Rabbi Nachman went with Rabbi Nosson, and they went there, and Rabbi Nosson noticed that the sukkah wasn't like the best sukkah in the world. It wasn't the most kosher. Al piyadin, with different chumras and different things like that. And he kind of told Rabbi Nachman about that, like whispering in his ear or whatever, or Rabbi Nachman realized that he was thinking about it. So Rabbi Nachman became very quiet. And when Rabbi Nosson saw that Rabbi Nachman was quiet, he also became quiet. And when they left the sukkah after the Kiddush, Rabbi Nachman said to Rabbi Nosson, he said, a Jew who worked so hard on building his sukkah and also spent a lot of money on the sukkah, you want to come and be paisel this sukkah with chumras yiseirus and break his spirit? It's not going to happen. That was very much Rabbi Nachman's way of like not, chumras yiseirus, and so not breaking anybody's spirit. Okay, so the sukkah wasn't the most halachically kosher. It was definitely a kosher sukkah. Rabbi Nachman probably wouldn't have sat and eaten in it, but it wasn't with all the chumras. But Rabbi Nachman was not into that, so that's fine. Right now it says, switches over topic to Hoshana Rabbah. That was Sukkos. Those are 3 pieces from Sukkos that they picked in the Sefer Siach Sharvei Kodesh. Obviously, there's a lot more. If you look in other Svarim and everything like that, there's many stories, but this is what we're going to say today. Hoshana Rabbah. Hoshana Rabbah is a big day. After Sukkos, it's the last day of Sukkos, Kilo before Shmini Atzeres and Simchas Torah. It's a great day for Tefillah and everything like that. So Rabbi Nachman says that on Shavuos, on the festival of Shavuos, what is the Ikar Avodah? The Ikar Avodah on Shavuos is staying up all night. Even if you don't say, even if you don't learn, but Arizal says it's very specifically to stay up the whole night, and that's, he says, is the main thing. But he says on Hoshana Rabbah, the Ikar Avodah is not stay up all night. The Ikar Avodah is to say a lot. There's also on Hoshana Rabbah a Tikkun Leil Hoshana Rabbah, stuff to say and to stay up all night. Then there is a thing to stay up all night, but if you can't, Rabbi Nachman is saying the Ikar is to say as much as you can, and to say Tehillim and do all those other things. Okay, now we have a piece over here. Rabbeinu said, the world says that in Shemaim they are mechalik parnasa, that they give out parnasa for the whole year to a person in Tfilas Geshem. We say Tfilas Geshem to start saying Mashiv Baruch, Mardi Geshem. By davening, again, switching over from Moyer Atol, if you daven Nusach Svart. And we do this on Musaf, on Shmini Atzeres. And that's what Rabbi Nachman says, that when during that Tfilas Geshem, that's when they give parnasa to the world. But Rabbi Nachman says, no, that's what the world says, but I say, no, they give parnasa when we say Emes ve'emuna, after Shema in Ma'ariv, on the first night of Shmini Atzeres, which is also Simchas Torah and Eretz Yisrael, that is when they give parnasa. So you should have a lot of kavanah when you're saying ve'emuna kol zois v'kayim aleinu, in davening after, after Shema on the first night Ma'ariv. It says over here, Rei Oid or Yakar from the Ramak on the Zohar Kodesh Parshas Emor, which says that even though the din is nechtam legamri, all of our din is nechtam legamri, kfar b'Hoshana Rabbah, kol makom, they don't give the pitkoyas, they don't give the notes to the messengers, to the angels, shluchei adin, until Shmini Atzeres, so there's still time. These are things we don't understand, like, what I'm saying. So, people say it din goes all the way till Zayis Chanukah. So you just have to keep on, just praying. Just pray. Oh, there's a lot of pieces over here. Oh, fun. Okay. On Shmini Atzeres, the minhag of Rabbi Nachman was to have a special shulchan yuchad from the Bali Batim. Only the people of the city of the Breslov would come, and he wouldn't even let any from his anash. Just like people, not even Breslovers, just people who stam the Bali Batim, the workers, whatever, they would come sit with Rabbi Nachman on Shmini Atzeres, and none of the chassidim are allowed to come. Because it says over here, and he would speak to them on their level, just give them their avodas what to do. And then after this arichas shulchan, after this meal, because everybody was going now to Tfilas Arvish or Simchas Torah, because outside of Eretz Yisrael it's 2 days. You have Shmini Atzeres, so you have lunch of Shmini Atzeres when he did this meal, and then after that they would all walk to shul for Ma'ariv of Simchas Torah, right? The second night. So v'lachu v'livay balabatim as Rabbeinu, they would take the balabatim, would walk with him under a chuppah until the Beis Knesses, until the shul, and that's when they would do hakafos of Simchas Torah. And then on the way they would all dance and sing, and the other chassidim, the regular chassidim of Rabbi Nachman, were able to already join, and it was all big. This was a very, very joyous occasion. And this minhag that to sit with the Bali Batim was already established by the times of the Baal Shem Tov. The Baal Shem Tov did this as well. And he would also have a special meal with the Bali Batim, or the Bali Tehillim, Hamechun Tehillim Niks. So that they had a very big base medrash in the city, and they would just say Tehillim all day. Chol Yom is called Sefer Tehillim. I mean, not the whole day, but they would say a lot of Tehillim every day. It says when Shmini Atzeres fell on Shabbos, Rabbi Nachman would eat even the third meal of Shabbos b'toich Sukkot, but he would not sleep in the Sukkah. I believe Yitzchak Bender heard this from Rabbi Nachman. Rabbeinu would go up to the Torah on Simchas Torah for Chasen Torah, and Rav Nassan would go up for Chasen Bereishis, and Rav Nassan would say, Rabbeinu Allah l'Chasen Torah Messiah Torah. Rabbi Nachman will go up to Chasen Torah because he's the one who's Messiah the Torah. He's Nitzach v'Gomer in Yonoi. That was Rabbi Nachman's whole thing, finishing his avodah. But I need to start from the beginning because I'm just Rabbi Nassan. I'm not Rabbi Nachman. And Rav Nassan says, alcohol, booze, and wine, stuff that makes you drunk, it's good to drink only on Purim, but not on Simchas Torah. It says in Koich V'Or, there's a footnote here, in Koich V'Or, which sounds like Breslov Stories, stuff like that. It says you have to be very careful to not drink so much alcohol and stuff like that, even on Shabbos and Yom Tov, afilu b'simchas Torah, and not the people who mistake and they say that you should get drunk in these times, and for sure not during the week. Right, we don't want to do this, so everybody does what they need to do, but the minhag is to drink on Simchas Torah. Rav Nachman was not really into it. Another story about that. It says that Rav Nachman told Shiner that he had such a taveris levava, like his heart was burning with desire and everything like that, and the greatness of Rav Nassan, like Rav Nassan was like his Rebbe, so he was really into him. At one time he drank wine or booze, whatever, on Simchas Torah a little bit more than he should have. And he fell down from the great simcha he was having to the feet of Rav Nassan, and he kissed him. And he said to Rav Nassan, "You are my chiyus, you are my life, and you helped me serve Hashem," and everything like that. And Rav Nassan was quiet. And the next day, Rav Nassan asked him, "Nachman, do you remember what you said yesterday?" And Rav Nassan, and he said, "Yeah," and I say the same exact thing today. He says, and Rav Nassan said to him, "No, all the words you said are truth, but you shouldn't drink so much on Simchas Torah. Right? Only on Purim is a time in Breslov that's basically really time to drink. Anyway, that's what we know from this Sefer on Siach Tzarfi Kodesh. And I hope everyone has an easy fast tomorrow on Yom Kippur. It's tomorrow night and Thursday. Just didn't want to, there's not really stories about it or anything like that. So I just did a little Sukkos and that's it. So I probably won't make videos probably until like after Sukkos again. So everybody should have a beautiful holiday. And that's it. Just have a good year and like this video, share it. Thank you.